Yo, what's going on, fingerboard fam? Welcome back to the channel, Anxiety Offline FB, and in this video, we're going to be making the ultimate fingerboard barrier. So, I've had this idea in my head for a long time. I really don't know why I haven't done it yet, but I figured for this week's video, we're just going to sit down and do it. So, it basically is going to consist of taking one full barrier and one half barrier, and then putting them together to create, obviously the ultimate fingerboard barrier. So, in the first part of the video here, you saw me, making the actual barriers, which mainly just consists of mixing cement and pouring it into a mold and then waiting for it to dry, which takes 24 hours. So this part here is filmed the next day and taking everything out of the mold and giving it a good sanding. And then once all the sanding's done, wash it down in some water just to get all the dust off and make sure there's no extra particles on there for when I do the surfacing. So you'll see in this part, I had some trouble with my glue. I thought I was all good to go, and I went and got ready to do this, and my glue was all dried up. I stupidly left the cap off of it. So I grabbed some super glue, and I thought I would try that because super glue usually bonds pretty much everything. So I put a hefty amount on there, and I put some extra concrete on there even, and I left it to dry. And I thought for sure this thing had to work, but unfortunately it had no hope of holding. I don't know why. The concrete was too porous and the super glue just turned into a thin sheet of nothing and fell apart. So went to the store, got some more Gorilla Glue, and in this part you can see the Gorilla Glue drying. And once that was all dry, well, actually, hold up, rewind, stop the video. I had some problems. So the thing wasn't sitting flush. I didn't test fit it at first. I just kind of figured they would kind of meet together magically and everything would be good, but the sides weren't totally flat, 90 degrees and all that. So I had some issues there. So I had to do some sanding down. I used the drill and then left it to dry like this because I figured if I at least could get it to dry and stay solid, then I could just sand it down kind of after the fact.
I'm stoked. This thing actually is looking really good. Now it just needs some finishing. So we're gonna go outside and put a brand new surface on this, and we're gonna paint it up, and then it should be done. So let's go do it.
I sanded the heck out of the base until I got it to fit flush, and then I began painting it. So I had this orange paint pretty handy, and I knew I wanted an orange barrier. So I hit it with the orange, but this Rust-Oleum orange really didn't have the kick I wanted. It kind of was more of like a vomit orange, not a construction orange. And I happened to be at Lowe's, and I found this Krylon Fluorescent. So because I already had a nice coat of orange down that made for a nice base, and this just made everything pop really nicely. It probably would have worked a little bit better with a white base coat, but it still worked pretty well. It dried super fast, so now we are inside. And I figure in the spirit of Halloween, we might as well do this thing orange and black, right? So I'm gonna try and tape off some black stripes that go this way, and then we'll head back outside and get one more layer of paint. So let's figure that out first. All right, so I know it sounds simple, but in practice it was actually kind of hard to get this right. And you'll see at the very end, my masking wasn't totally perfect. I got some things wrong, but it worked out. I got the effect pretty much there. So I took a bunch of tape, and the hard part was really getting the angled part to match the rest of it, because the angling tape on a 3D angled piece was just difficult to do in general. But I got it. It looked like this. And I ended up tearing the piece off the very end there because it was kind of like awkward. Then in hindsight, that might have made things look awkward too, so I don't know. But here I am painting it. Took a couple layers of black to get out the fluorescent orange, but we got there.
All right, so it's currently the next morning, and now we're going to apply some of this polyurethane. All right, so it's not perfect. There's some errors in my masking, but we got all the final layers applied. So now it just needs to dry, and then it should be ready to skate.
So it's been a couple days, but I got this done. It's all dried, and I've been seshing it like a ton. It's been sitting on my desk here, and I've been using it pretty often. It's super fun. It's as fun as I thought it would be, if not a little bit more fun. I thought it was going to be too big, but it's actually perfect size. The paint job is not perfect, but it's got the effect I wanted it to have, so it works out. I did a little tag on here to kind of give it some more flavor. I wanted to do this for a while. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. I'm glad I gave it a shot, and it turned out pretty cool. It looks pretty realistic, certifiably shreds. I accidentally broke the little tip off here, but it doesn't really matter. It still rides up pretty well, so not that big of a deal. and it kind of adds to the realism of it anyway. But it looks really realistic, so I do like it. And I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the finish on here, because even with these tech deck trucks, it is so buttery. Here's some BRTs. I mean, it is just insanely buttery. It's clear coated, polyurethaned, and waxed, so it's super fun to sesh on. It's super satisfying to grind on with your board, you know, or with trucks. So it was a success, and I'm working on another one currently. I'm not going to put them on the site just because they take a lot more work than the usual stuff I do. So if you want a special order one, send me a message on Discord or Instagram, either way, and we can get you one made. But this one specifically, though, I'm going to give away. So it's going to be kind of a Halloween giveaway. So I'm going to end the giveaway on October 14th, so the winner gets this in time for Halloween. So if you want to enter the giveaway, it's super simple. You have to be subscribed to my channel and leave a comment down below saying which one of my videos is your favorite, and then you'll be entered. It's pretty much that simple. One little caveat though, you have to live in the USA. This thing's pretty large. It's gonna be expensive to ship, and shipping it out of the USA would be even more crazy expensive right now. So it's gonna be USA only, excluding Hawaii and Alaska, so Greater 48 only. I'm gonna end the giveaway October 14th, so it'll be shipping out in the days after that. You should have it before Halloween. So on Halloween, you can sesh this very spooky, haunted obstacle, construction obstacle. And yeah, so that's about it for this video. I'm glad I did this experiment. I got another one of these going, so you'll probably see more of these in my edits and things like that, because it's super fun to mess around on. So good luck to all of you who enter, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
We have a great product in the shop that we're excited to share with you. Check it out on our site.